know who Mr. Brown is.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. So my name is Alan Roosevelt Brown Jr. I was born in Bummie Hills, July 24th, 1961. I grew up on the old road.
Okay.
I went to school on the old road, ACS. I graduated 1979 and went to college abroad, St. Joseph's University. Graduated from there with a degree in accounting. I was 20 at the time. I, of course, returned to Liberia. I've worked in the private sector all my life.
Okay.
The war came, and I like many people, I left.
You fled the country.
Yeah, fled the country. Yeah, for sure. And then I came back.
Okay.
And worked, and then 1996, April 6th, I had a small hotel at the time on 20th Street.
Okay.
And April 6th was right in that zone. So I left. When I left, I didn't come back until 2003.
Okay.
At that time, I was the Chief Executive Officer of Beneficial Life Insurance Company in Cameroon, Togo, and
Beneficial Life Insurance?
Beneficial Life Insurance Company. Owned by my father.
Okay.
In Cameroon, in Ivory Coast, and in Togo.
Okay.
And I came back here to Liberia and started to invest in real estate. And the real estate that I got involved in was hospitality and commercial property.
Okay.
And I've been pretty much in and out of Liberia all my life.
Okay. Okay.
Anything specific?
Okay, we'll talk more about that. Well, let me hear also about your standard bearer, because it's good to also hear about the hopefully the vice president. So let's hear from you too, Madam Weir. Well, let's hear a bit about you.
My name is Nusvet Janice Weir. I always like to begin like this. I am a nationalist.
Okay.
A very patriotic Liberian woman.
Okay.
I've worked in the private sector all my life for over 20 years now.
Wow, the both of you.
So this is quite new, but challenging. And, I accept this challenge. And I've worked in Liberia. I've worked in Ghana and the Gambia. And also, I hold a master's of theology in missions and theology.
Okay.
So, I also have a postgraduate diploma from the University of Ibadan in Nigeria.
Okay.
And I have a couple of other certificates, monitoring evaluation. I've done a course in risk management, also corruption, anti-corruption from Liberia Dallos in Paris, France.
Okay.
I'm a pastor as well.
Pastor?
Yes, I pastor at the Leprosy Community Church.
Okay.
And so I'm around. This is good.
Okay, that's good. Okay, so let me hear from Mr. Brown. What has occasioned Mr. Brown this decision to wanting to be or become president of the Republic of Liberia?
It's very simple. A desire to serve. I've been in the private sector all my life. I've always helped people. I guess maybe this is even the natural evolution of something that I've always done. I'm on this earth to honor God, honor man, to help people. I see a need. I think it's a need that I'm able to fulfill, especially at this time. So I guess that is it.
But serving in the private sector, like you and your vice, all your years, or the years of both of you, you've been in the private sector. I'm sure you've been serving humanity. You've been serving people. So what's the difference there?
I mean, it's the circumstances. Now, in the private sector, you have limitations, whereas in the public sector, you can do far more, and you have a commitment to do far more.
Your critic will say that, but you don't know, absolutely, nothing about political governance, how do you, become president and govern the country? Or
Well, look, I have my politics is a politics of neutrality and civility. I mean, but if you look at the country and you say, okay, well, the people who so-called know so much about government, you understand? And we look at the country now, it's still lagging behind many other countries, most countries in this world. So I don't know that that we should place as much significance on whether you were in the public service or the private sector. I don't think that's the issue. I think the issue is that you have a desire and you have the ability and your platform
to lead
the country, and you have a platform that addresses the concerns of the people.
We'll look at a platform. We'll look at a platform. But your critics also maybe thinking, but why Honorable Allen Arab Brown of the Liberia Restoration Party, why you couldn't just begin with the legislature where you could get small, education about, governance and all of that before thinking about the high seat of the country?
And that's all good and well, but the fact of the matter is that if you want radical change, and I believe that Liberia needs radical change, I think the presidency is where you can do what needs to be done. For example, most people in this country wake up in the morning and they don't know where they will get their first meal from. I know this because I'm part of a feeding ministry. We fed now over 100,000 children, and also we have to feed adults. And the more we feed, the greater the demand, because we're only scratching the surface. You can have as a leader, you can put together a policy that says, hey, much like what the United States of America did in the Depression. Look, we gotta feed our people. We gotta make sure that no one goes a whole day without a meal. And now these policies, when you put a policy together like that, it's not something that's forever, that goes on forever, but it meets a critical need. You can't do something like that in the legislature, as just a representative. You've got to be the head. You've got to be the boss to effect something like that. So to answer your question, the reason why I'm looking at the presidency is because I can do more, and I can meet the needs of our people.
Now, you said in your introductory remarks that you've been in and out of the country. It means that you're in a stable year,
Okay.
You're out of touch. You think the old lady in Bangladesh may know who Allen's is or Brown is?
Okay, so yes. Apart from the fact that I've been in and out of the country my whole life, I've impacted.
Okay.
Because it's not about whether you've been in and out of the country. The real issue is what kind of positive impact have you had on people's lives?
Good.
That's the real issue. If you really want to know.
So can you throw us through now?
Well, of course. Look, I like to give a real example that I think it really covers everything.
Okay.
As you know, I was a CEO in Ivory Coast. In 2003, there was a plane load of Liberians that landed in Ivory Coast. They were running from the turmoil in Liberia. I think you can understand that. So what happens is that they land and the plane gets grounded. So the government there, Ivory government, didn't allow them to come in Ivory Coast, and they couldn't go back to Liberia. So I'm on the basketball court, it's 20 or so years ago. I'm on the basketball court, and when I stop playing, I get to my phone, it's blowing up. Like, what's going on, call, and they say, hey, look, Mr. Brown, there's this situation, the Liberians here, they're destitute and stranded. All right, so I go down there and I find out they're lying on the floor. It's a disrespectful situation. So immediately start to feed them because they hadn't eaten, give them water, and then had to make the arrangements that were necessary to get them out of that situation.
So what kind of food you give them? You brought
sandwiches that were there, that were at the airport. Food at the airport.
That stomach?
Well, I mean, I don't think anybody will complain that you're not eating for 2 or 3 days, and then somebody can't get you sandwich. Where you go say, okay, well, I mean, it's a.
But did you give the sandwich with juice or just water?
Water. You want? I gave it with water, but here's the thing: we had to. There's a young lady from interesting. She's a student at the time in one of those schools, college probably. Her name is Veronica Niemeyer. Anyway, she was there also helping with her, the little bit that she had. So I bumped her and said, okay, well, look, the little bit that you have, you're helping, right? I'm so busy, I can't, stand here, but I'll finance it. And she did a fabulous job. I mean, when I say fabulous, she arranged for them. We fed them until we could get the documentation.
What's the population of Liberians?
I don't know the population that were in Ivory Coast at the time. But what I will say to you is that she was helpful, and she managed to arrange for them to go to Ghana to, I believe, what was the refugee camp. All I did was finance it after that, but she was,
how much you spent?
Yeah, now I'm not going to tell you that. The reason for the explanation, though, is because we're talking about impacting.
Yeah, how you impacted
people.
them.
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't ask me can you give a name of somebody who was there? Because the one person that I can think of is the son of the current presidential Senate bearer, Joseph Boyka Jr.
Okay. His son was there.
Yeah, his son was one of the people stranded. There were some others, but the reason why I give his name is because he's probably easily known and, young guy around town and stuff like that. So what I'm trying to say to you is that it's impact, how you positively impact. Now, I did that as a private citizen without any without any political implications or thinking or anything like that. It was just that there was a need. There were people that were stranded, and
so you intervened
as best as I could.
Many things I
didn't get in palm butter as you probably wanted, but I get in sandwiches, right?
Okay, now, Miss Brown, where do you have your voting population, your constituents?
So I tell people, my voting population is anyone who is oppressed, who is who wants a change in their lives, anyone who is tired of being sick and tired of the current situation.
Okay.
And it could be an undecided person who is now saying, look, I need to see someone who has a platform that identifies with the things that I believe are important. And so, and they're all over the country.
All over the country.
And that's why I would give, well, of course. For example, let me give you an interesting thing. You understand me? I have investment property program.
Okay.
That is a central part of my platform. What this investment property program does is that it puts each Liberian family, not only does it put them in a home, but it puts the foundation of the property will be able to have a ground floor plus 4 floors up. The first floor over the ground floor will be rented out, run by a management company that will pay all the bills, and then it can go up 3 floors. So imagine now, okay, with that program, which is forward thinking, it's far reaching, it's expansive, it covers everybody, including the 3 of you here. Guess what? You'd probably be thinking about voting for me too, because an investment property is coming your way just because of the fact that you're Liberian. You understand? So when you start to talk about who is my constituency is anyone who hears my platform, understands the platform. That's my constituency. There are very few people who are going to oppose an investment property in their lives, knowing that it's going to change their economic situation, the situation of their generations to come. And I'm on record as far back as 2006 saying that Liberia needs to be a middle income country. We need to have a middle class. So a big part of my platform from an economic
We're just coming to that. We're just coming to the platform. Your manifestos. What is it that you have on your plate, Mr. Brown or Honorable Brown, if you are elected? First, let's look at the economy.
Okay, so look, as I told you, a lot of people go to bed, wake up in the morning hungry, go to bed hungry. So of course, you have to feed the people. I mean, this is a must. In the United States of America, the greatest nation on the planet, during the Great Depression, that's what they did. They opened soup kitchens to make sure that they fed the people. Now, when people are fed, at that point now you can start to look at the other important things. As I said, I have an investment investment property proposal on the table. But in a larger context, Liberia needs to become a technological giant. And for example, there are more
technological giant.
What technological giant? I'm going to explain. For example, there are more microprocessors in computer chips fabricated annually than there are grains of rice harvested annually. So what does that mean? That means that the future is with technology. And if the future is with technology, then we have to produce tech savvy people, and youth and professionals, so that they're able to leapfrog into the future. And that's precisely what I plan to do. And that's one of the things on my platform, is to make sure that we have that our greatest resource, which is our human resource capacity, our people. We are the greatest resource that Liberia had, not the gold, not the diamond, not the iron ore, none of that stuff there. Our people. And we have to make sure that our curriculum, it's culturally sensitive, and that it's geared towards technology. So we give our people a comparative advantage in the global job market. Now, a lot of the companies, big companies, they will jump over hoops to get technology, to get people that are technologically oriented.
Mr. Brown, we are speaking with speaking to thousands of Liberians.
Awesome.
I'm coming. Many of them are in rural Liberia. If you went to Cape Mama and you try to explain this to the older folks, the old mothers and fathers there, they may not understand. So I want us to take this bit by bit. I ask the question: how do you improve on the economy we have now that benefits our people?
Okay, wonderful. If you notice, I started with food. I started with feeding them.
Okay.
So the fact of the matter is that when you feed people, and I've been feeding people, I told you I'm part of a feeding ministry. So the people that we feed are the people who need to be fed in the different counties.
Okay.
You understand? So it's something that I'm already doing. Now, Liberia needs to become a breadbasket, so that we produce food not only to feed ourselves, but also to export to feed other countries. Now, you talk about the people who are in the counties. Well, they understand food and they understand agriculture.
So how do you ensure that Liberia becomes a breadbasket?
Awesome. It's your policy.
What's your mechanism?
It's your policies. You have to produce policies that will incorporate our people who are there. For example, agriculture is not something that's alien. There are countries like Israel, Holland, Asia, countries in Asia, right, that are agriculture, that are specialists in agriculture, and they have techniques and technologies that we can copy, and policies that we can copy. Then we blend them to our uniqueness, because we have certain things about us that are unique. We blend them to our uniqueness and make sure that it's identifiable with our people. And when we do that, and when we do that, you will find out that whoever it is in whatever part that is a farmer, you will find out that they will be enhanced.
Just going to other countries, or maybe asking to help and align their policies with yours, it's just one thing. How do you mobilize the resources? Because I'm sure you're going to invest a lot into agriculture.
Well, the thing that you have to understand, and you know, I come from a private sector background, right? And when it comes to mobilizing resources, many people don't know this. There's a lot of money out there looking for opportunities. So what you have to do is make sure.
So you rely greatly on donor funding?
No, not donor funding. I rely on private capital, which is different from donor. Listen to me.
So
donor funding, excuse me. Now you're gonna
Yes, go ahead,
ask the
go ahead,
question.
go
Which
ahead.
one you want to ask
Go
the
ahead.
question and answer the
No,
question?
go ahead,
too?
go ahead.
Maybe I should be the interviewer and
I
interview you. Yeah, I mean, that might be better for us,
Go
right?
ahead.
Okay, thank you. Listen to me. Yeah, I mean, I'm not talking about donor money. You know, that doesn't interest me. You understand me? I'm talking about private capital. And private capital works when you have a comprehensive plan about how you're going to develop your nation. You understand me? Private capital will pay attention, but also understand this. People sit and say, okay, you know what, how you going to get the money? Well, there are a couple of things that attract money. And you know what? One of the things that attract money is when you have a system that is just and fair and compassionate, meaning that the rule of law is there. So what I would do first is that I have to appoint judges that are competent. What it means is that they know the subject matter. Judges that have character, that's their personal integrity, and judges that have compassion. Now, what happens is that if I'm John Doe, you understand me, and I know that Liberia now is a country that if I invest 10 million, I invest 100 million. If there is a problem, nobody's going to rip me off. The law will be the law. You understand? Now, of course, if John Doe comes and does something wrong, and there's a case that's prosecutorial against John Doe, well, of course, it will be adjudicated accordingly. But nobody is going to rip anybody off. That not only helps the investor, it also helps us in Liberia.
So if we were to look at the budget for agriculture, what would that be?
Let me tell you something, you know, and this is what you have to understand, or this is how I look at agriculture. The one thing I want out of agriculture is to make sure that whatever we grow, we have the highest yield per acre on the planet Earth. You understand me? And even if it involves vertical farming from day one. Now, we only use 5% of our arable land in this country. You may not know that, but that's all we use. So we have nothing but available land in this country. But just because it's available, it doesn't mean that we should just go and start to misuse it. You understand me? Or we should not use it efficiently. It's a better word. It's a better way to put it. We have to use what we have efficiently. You understand me? I'll give you an example. I was in Israel in 2015. It's the first time I went there. And it amazed me how they did their agriculture. I mean, they even have urban farming. Everywhere they had a little strip, you will see them growing something throughout the nation.
Okay.
I was amazed. I mean, I didn't know that such a thing could happen. I'm saying that we do not have to reinvent the wheel. There are nations, not Holland's another one. I mean, they're very good at it. It was there. And so we don't have to reinvent the wheel. We can do these things, copying what they're doing and making sure that it's that it works for us. So that means that we would have to basically modify it where we need to modify it.
I'm still waiting to hear from you about your agriculture budget.
You're asking me about an agriculture budget, but there's a problem with what you're asking me because I'm talking private sector funds.
Okay.
You understand me? So if you're talking private sector funding, then it's very different. I can give you an agriculture budget and say 10 billion. What does that mean if the funding is not there? You understand? It's not something that I'm talking about the government. Okay. You're talking about government giving a budget for something.
But let's assume.
No, hang on. Listen, because you're not thinking how I'm thinking. So I need to get you to think how I'm thinking. Okay. You understand?
Go ahead.
Okay, so you got to. Okay, the first thing is this. We are not going to move Liberia forward thinking conventionally. Because when you think conventionally, then you can only move forward incrementally.
Okay.
You understand me? That's not going to help us in this situation. We have to move forward thinking out of the box unconventionally. And what I am talking about is unconventional. So what am I saying? What am I saying there? I'm saying that whether the budget, whether the amount of investment is 10 billion or it's 100 billion, I'm saying that the investors who would be interested in that kind of investment, I'm saying that they're available. I'm saying that if we make sure that we have the rule of law in place, and we are very intentional about our agriculture policy and what we want, I'm saying that I have the ability to go and talk to them, whether it's 10 billion or it's 100 billion or it's 200 billion. I'm saying to you that I can do that. I can bring in that kind of investment. You are talking about incremental success. I'm telling you that incremental is not going to work for us. We have too much suffering in this nation to do things conventionally. We have to be unconventional. We have to be very innovative. We have to think out of the box if we want to succeed and move this country forward within the next 5 to 10 years.
So where are you going to get investors from?
From all over the world. What's wrong with you? From all over the world. Listen, look, people are looking for areas to invest in. Just the way how people are looking for things for investors. In fact, I dare say that there are more people looking for areas to invest in than there are people who are looking for investors to come. Why do I say that? I say that because opportunity in this world is almost is extraordinary, and especially the age that we live in. And you just talking agriculture, but guess what? There's more money available for technology. Did you know that?
Okay.
Oh yeah, there's more money available for technology. I'm talking about private money, and this is where people miss it. We miss it because we keep thinking about just a conventional door, but no, there are other avenues where we can do things that are unconventional. Let me give you an example of the difference between conventional thinking and unconventional thinking, right? Okay. In 1903, Kitty Hawk, North Carolina, two brothers get together. What do they say? They say, look, we want to create a flying machine. We want to create a flying machine, right? Conventional thinking says what? Conventional thinking says, if God wanted man to fly, God would have given man wings. God didn't want man to fly. That's conventional thinking, right? Fine. Unconventional. We're going to create this flying machine. You understand? Well, how are you going to create this flying machine? And the brothers, they started, right? They didn't succeed right away. You know that? People laughed at them. Conventional people say, look at those fools. You understand? What are they talking about? It's an impossible thing. But what they did changed the entire way people traveled. Okay? Now, my property investment, my investment property initiative, I liken it to just what they were doing back then. You've never heard of it before. You never thought that it was possible. You understand me? But it's going to change the economic paradigm in this nation. It's a difference because people now, as opposed to being tenants, they're going to become landlords. You understand me? Liberian people. Now, this is not an initiative that can last forever. There's a narrow prism of opportunity here.
Okay.
But what I don't want to see is an economy that rises and the people are left behind.
Okay.
You understand me? I don't want to see us with a trade surplus and our people are still wallowing abject poverty.
Okay. So do you have a plan B, Honorable Brown? If I thought, because what I gather from you is that your source of funding for maybe the agriculture sector, you'll be looking for investors, looking at the private, investors and all of that. if I told you went out there with all your policies and all of that, you didn't succeed getting the investors coming in, do you have plan B?
Well, look, let me ask you this question.
Mm-hmm.
When you come on a radio, when somebody comes as a guest
Mm-hmm.
to your talk show,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
If that guest doesn't show up,
Mm-hmm.
do you expect that you will not be able to get another guest?
You will.
Okay, well then what are you talking about? Is
No,
it something? No, you see,
I'm
your area.
telling
Listen
you,
to me. Let me hang on. You understand me? You deal with your broadcasting, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you confident about what you do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you understand me?
Mm-hmm.
I can't come to you and tell you, say, hey, wait, no,
The
wait.
reason why I asked the
But let me
question,
finish,
Mr.
man. Let me answer. You gotta let me answer, right? It's like me telling you, oh, my man, what will happen if you don't have any guests?
Mm-hmm.
You understand me? You got plan B, you know, from your standpoint, it'd be like, what is this man talking about? If I have plan B, no guests will come on my show. You understand me? I'm telling you that.
The reason what I'm asking, Mr. Brown, the reason what I ask, like I said, you are discussing and you are communicating with thousands of people. Many of them are.
I'm fully aware.
The reason I'm asking, your whole focus is about private investors. Even when I ask about economy, which is good. You say you don't want to go the usual way that everybody runs.
I'm telling you that it's unsustainable for what we want to do.
So the question I ask, let's assume that you went out there with all the flowery policies, and what you expected didn't happen. Are you going to looking at local resources to achieve what you want?
Well, look, what is like saying, Mr. Brown, there's no day after night. You know what I mean? That after night, day doesn't, the sun doesn't come up. You know, I mean, it's implausible what you're saying. So
no, it's possible.
No, listen, no, it's not. It's not possible. It is not possible. Listen to me. It is not possible. After night, day comes. You understand me? So what you're asking me, it is not possible. You understand me? There is private capital all over the world.
Okay.
So it's not possible unless, the world comes to an end. Okay, well, I mean, in that case, it wouldn't matter, right? But as long as we are in this world and this world is existing and there is day after night, there will always be private capital available. Okay. And this is, and now, here's what you must understand. Okay, it's like this, for example, okay, I have an investment property initiative, okay, and I come to you and I'm saying, look, this is my investment property initiative, right? This is what I want to do, okay. How likely is it that you're going to say no from something that you're benefiting from? Then you say to me, oh, well, Sonny, what happens if somebody says no to this? Like, you renting. You understand me? I'm coming to you to make you a landlord. What's the chances of you saying no? You understand me? No, you're gonna say yes.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? Now let me tell you. Let me tell you more. A lot of people, want to look at a pessimistic perspective of Liberia. Nothing good, I call it nothing good can happen in Nazareth, and then we know that Jesus came out of Nazareth, the best thing that ever happened.
Surely.
So I mean, I think that my experience is that you can do good things, and this country has greatness.
Okay.
And we have to harness that greatness.
Okay. Let me hear from your vice presidential candidate, at least for a moment. Madam, let's because I know you got education also on your platform, on your manifesto. What is it that you have in store for education if you become the president and vice president of this country?
Well, let me just say this. I think you still have enough to hear from my standard bearer.
Exactly. I was surprised that you left me. I was enjoying the conversation with you. Why you don't come back? No, come back to me. Let's keep talking. You understand me? Don't talk. Let me talk. Okay. So look, what do you talking about education? And now you operating. You're cooking with gas. Because it looks like you were trying. It looks like you wanted to. No, it's not that. You come to me, can't deal with me. You understand me? No, I must say I want to deal with you too. So you want to deal with me, I want to deal with you. We come in rocking in it. Yeah, now talk to me.
You are live, oh?
Yeah, I know we live.
All but the world is watching.
What happened? You rocking it, I rocking it. What are you talking? All right. So now let's talk education. So I say your guy there in the show here. Yeah, no, look, you're talking education, right?
Surely.
So let's talk education now. The first thing we need to do is make sure that we have a culturally sensitive educational system. You understand me? What do I mean by that? So when I learned how to read, I would read books that said Dick and Jane played in the snow. My man, whoever called text you, listen to me. They're trying to give you questions to ask me, but they juke you. I mean, we're rusting here. You hear me? There's no question that you can ask me that I can't answer because I'm prepared. But listen to me. So I will read about Dick and Jane playing in the snow. You understand me? Now, there's no snow here in Liberia. You understand me? So it's not really relatable, right? Okay. So what we need in our when with our young children, we are supposed to say to them, okay, they're supposed to read something like Somo and Tufa playing blade in the rain.
Okay.
That is relatable. That's something that they do. Okay. And it's important for the sense of identity. It's important for them to appreciate their culture. It's important for them to be nationalistic when they need to be nationalistic. So that uniqueness. Now, I'm not, we should appreciate other nationalities, but we also should appreciate the uniqueness of our culture. And that has to happen in our education. We have to teach our children these kinds of things. Let them be, we have to inculcate it in them so that they grow up with a rich sense of who they are and their self-worth and their ability to do any and everything. Then we have to, because of the world we live in, this is a world that technology has taken over. You got robotics, you got aeronautics, you got aerospace engineering. I mean, you got artificial intelligence. And I mean, I tell people that, something, I can't do it on my cell phone. I can't do it on my internet. Okay. But guess what? When I was in college, this thing I didn't have no cell phone. Didn't have no internet. We don't know what it would be like. But I listened to Bill Gates once and he said, look, the future is where you walk and you will tell the car, open the door. Drive me to so location, and you just sitting down there, you go to your house, open the door, that kind of stuff.
Sure.
So it's technological, and whether we like it or not, this is where the world is headed. So we have to have our curriculum geared towards technology, because if we don't do that, then we're going to be lagging behind again. So our thing, in my position, is very clear, and I'm emphatic about this. We cannot play catch up anymore. We have to play let's get ahead.
Okay.
That is with respect to education.
Okay.
And I wanted to get back to and now that you reminded me about people from all over the world listening, if somebody's in the diaspora, then what I'm talking about should interest them, because I'm talking about an investment property program that gives them an opportunity to return home. Some people left home desperate, they left and they just got stuck, right? They want to come back home. My investment property program, where they're going to be given a property. Now, when I say given, they'll have to pay for it.
That's free of charge.
Nothing's free, baby. Nothing at all. So my investment property program is something that will be able to bring Liberians back into the country. And let me give you an example. A lot of people here, they own, some of the ones that own property, they find themselves in court. They find out that they're in court. So my investment property program is going to change that. Why? Because even if somebody is squatting on somebody's property, right, and they know now that they have an opportunity to be a landowner, a property owner, to own their own, they ain't got no need to squat on anybody's property anymore, right? The next thing is that if you are already a landowner and you want to and you have an opportunity to expand and own other properties, well, you will take that opportunity. So I believe that this program is so forward thinking.
Is it in operation already?
How can it be in operation? I'm not president yet, but when you make me president, I will make sure. It's an initiative.
Guys, I'm making a campaign too. There.
That guy. But why you think I told you that you will be voting for me? Because you will be thinking about your investment property. You understand me? You'll be thinking about your investment property, and you say, you know something? I hear all the other people talking about a different economic days, but this one year I know this man is saying that I'm going to have an investment property, and this is why my platform is so important. I already know.
So the investment property is your bid now.
It's one of the plans that I have.
Okay.
I have many plans, but yes, it's forward thinking.
Okay. We'll be opening the lines very shortly. Let me ask you, how do you deal with, if you become president tomorrow, how do you deal with the issue of nepotism and corruption?
Okay, so that's a good question. So corruption is systemic.
Okay.
I'm not going to be looking to just target people. I won't do that. Okay. I'm not going to go after people. What I am going to do, and that's a very good question, what I am going to do is to appoint competent judges who understand the subject matter.
Okay.
If they make a mistake, it won't be because they didn't know what they were doing. Then I'm going to appoint judges who have character. That's their personal integrity. What you get for money, you sell for money. What you gain by conviction, it takes a whole lot to violate your personal conviction.
Okay.
Then I'm going to appoint judges that are compassionate. So if there is a convict who is genuinely remorseful, that they can see a need not to avoid justice, but to be compassionate about it, in the sense that if somebody has maybe a death sentence, commute that death sentence to life imprisonment. Justice is served, but there's life imprisonment. So I'm going to deal with the issue of corruption from a systemic perspective. The next thing is that I'm not going to interfere with the courts. As you know, we have 3 branches of government. The judiciary is going to function. The only time what you will find me doing is growing and building the judiciary, and helping and developing and strengthening the judiciary. I believe that the judiciary is the branch of government that's going to hold the nation together. And I want to make sure that they are truly independent and extremely strong, because they are that's the law. The rule of law is what stops chaos.
Okay. Well, 2 questions before I open the lines. We do have a couple of individuals in the race. The former vice president, who've been in government for public service for over 4 years, Cummings. We have a female candidate, Sarah Bessel-Yanti. We have the current president who's running for a second 6-year term. What stands you up amongst all those people that I named?
Okay, so I have a policy of neutrality, in the sense that I am not into criticizing the other presidential candidates, and I think that my policy of neutrality, what it does is that it makes engaging me very issues based. And I believe that I'm on the right side of the issues.
Okay.
I'm a big supporter of democracy. And I will be doing everything that I can to enhance democracy in Liberia.
Okay. Now, the last before I open the lines. You are canvassing already. I'm sure you are campaigning already.
Sure.
And you expect to be to win the elections. That's the whole expectations. But if you don't win, what next?
Again, I've been asked this question on almost every talk show that I have been to. My expectation is that people are going to support my platform once they know it. And so when people are going to support a platform when they know it, I see no reason why I can't win in the first round. For example, I think it's going to be very difficult for you individually to know that you've got an investment property coming your way if you vote for me. And if I'm president, I think it's going to be very difficult for you not to vote for me.
So you are set for a one-round victory?
Of course I am. What's wrong with you? Of course I'm thinking that.
No, you're asking that.
Yeah, but I'm repeating what I already told you.
So how soon you be going to rural Liberia to campaign there?
When I'm there, you will know. I will call you. I will call you from there. In fact, I might take you with me. How's that?
Let me open that. You want to answer? 0776 540 987. Or better still, 0880 514 096. Again, 0880 514 096. And of course, the presidential candidate, it's Honorable Allen Aaron Brownlee Jr. He's our guest here. And let me take this first caller quickly. Good morning. Good morning. Yes, good morning, sir.
Okay, so but this is Lauren calling you from Lopaga Day to be Foya District this morning. Okay, Zama, thank you very much. Talking with the studio girl, I am a coordinator for the We Are Government, We Are Election. My question, let me appreciate this studio girl. She's a peaceful man, and the other people taking the title because of what we are seeing, what we are experiencing. And then you asking the question, is it now win? He answer you, but then we believe when you read the back of the when he passed through Zozo and Bonjama to Foya, when he will reach here, but we believe that through exposing this morning, he got peace in his mind. We know that person we are going to take it one job that he will show up for 30 seconds. Thank you.
Many thanks. Let me take this call. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Summer.
Good morning, sir.
Thank you for having me, Summer. I'm Mama and Tuba. You mean the People's Liberation Party, PFC Montreal, County Institute of Intellectual Class Association number 14. I was going to your series and so this is they're not in the library following the show. And also, I think there's quite
Good morning.
Yeah.
Just shift a bit. Change your location, please. You are coming in broken. Yes, okay. Yes, go ahead.
Is it okay?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, thank you so much. Like I said, your student guest is very impressive. I listened to him come on a table warfare experience. But something I want to register, which is my dissatisfaction, is I really don't want to criticize. I think he's more natural. But then he should realize fast than a brother. So because he said he's someone who supports democracy. Since we are talking about pushing the issue of female participation in the electoral process, I wouldn't even give it to the girl if I tell the girl a chance to speak on some issue because I'm sure she's not going to be an old car parked in the garage.
Many thanks. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Josh.
Yes, good morning, sir.
I'm Charles.
Yes, go right ahead.
The former chairman for Bob Polo under the Liberia Restoration Party. I will be meeting with Mr. Brown on tomorrow.
Is that what you called?
Yeah, I will be.
You don't have anything to say. Let me take this in the call. Good morning. 0776 540 987 or better still 0880 514 096. That's the alternative line. It's 0776 540 987. Good morning.
Good morning, Sabo.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, this is Thomas
Dema, and I call you from District 4, Moswara County.
Let's hear from you.
Supporter of the Unity Party. Mr. Brown, thank you so much, and thanks to you, Sabo. We are happy actually for you people to be bringing them that they let be hearing the people that want to take over our country. You know, but some of them can escape airtime, like President Weah. So I asked him to support the Unity Party, Joseph Wakai, on the team, because all what he has is what Joseph Wakai also has, and Joseph Wakai want to be a president. Thank you.
Many thanks. You made your point already. Let me take this other call on the line quickly. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Maybe I still get Mr. Sabo. I find it so difficult for me. I'm anyway saying stuff like calling from Rubio. I'm finding it so difficult on your studio guests. With all of the standard explanation you are giving the nation and people. Why have you been all that time today? Because when you look around and see a lot of political parties with a platform being really sold to the people, because it is quite questionable to hear him say all those fine things. But why are they not, as a people and people that love this nation, come together instead of them doing it in bits and pieces? Everybody want to come on board with the ideology. Why can't they put their acts together?
Okay.
We have the five candidates that people want to choose.
Okay, you made your point. Let me take this caller. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. How are you doing, Chief?
I'm okay.
Yeah, I know. I'll call you to say my name is your feeders. I just got one question on the honorable Tito. Yeah, you want to be president of this country. Which dialect do you speak?
Okay, which dialect you speak? Okay. Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, good morning.
Yes, sir. Let's hear from you.
I'm just calling from Grand County, District,
Grand Kidma, okay?
Thank you, my country. Thank you very much. Other President Brown is our audit. I am the audit chairman. Grand Kidma County, Liberia Restoration Party. We are going to put our President Brown massively in Grand Kidma County. We protect today. We are protect tomorrow. To vote President Brown. He is the president of the Republic.
Okay, all right. Okay, I think it's one of your supporters. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Solo George, and good morning to our studio guests. My name is David Karagowise, and I join you from the headquarters of the Coalition for Democratic Change on the Baguba Avenue in Toho community. I have a very simple question for our studio guests this morning, and my question is, does he believe that there can be first ballot victory in these elections? Because there are other candidates who have been arguing that first ballot victory is not possible in these elections. So I want you to confirm me whether you believe that there can be first ballot victory in these elections. Thank you for affording me the opportunity.
Okay, let me take this on a caller. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Sabbath.
Good morning, ma.
Yeah, my name is Rosa from Gary, and I call for my rehab facility. I listen to your guest, and he has a very brilliant platform. But my question to him is, why all this time, all the year, he been helping people in that, and then he haven't show up within his own country. So what now? Thank you for the show this evening.
Okay, many thanks, many thanks. Good morning. Good morning. Hello, we'll take a little more calls and we'll wrap it up quickly. 0776-540-987. Good morning.
Yes, good morning. Mr. Brown, how you doing? I'm Roosevelt GJJ.
I'm fine, thank you. How you doing, Roosevelt?
Yeah. Listen, I understand clearly what you're saying, in terms of the components of your platform. And I agree. There has to be an inner searching process where we as Liberians believe in what we can do for ourselves as the people doing for us.
Awesome.
And it's a very difficult message to get across, and I hope you have the capacity to get across to Liberians, because most of the Liberians you meet on the campaign trail will come and say, what you will do for us, what you will do for us. So when that say how you can either help them do what they can do for themselves, or stimulate the capacities that are required to be able to do for themselves. I just want to make that note. Thank you.
Thank you.
Many thanks. Let me take this final call quickly. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Shaba.
Yes, sir.
My name is Alvin Che. I'm calling from Soto. I'm quick to be precise.
Let's hear from you.
Yeah, straight to the issue, Shaba. And good morning, also be a few guys. And I want to tell you, a few guys, all of the good things that he said that if he becomes president, he will do. He did not allow other candidates who value for the presidential position, all of the good things. Why can he put all the good things and join his excellency, Dr. George Lepon? We have to see out there. We can move our country forward because all of the things he said he would do to become president, but the same thing this president is doing. So I think it will be necessary. They are playing all the vision they have. Let them join his excellency, Dr. George Lepon. We are to see out there. We can move this country forward.
Okay, many thanks. Let me take this last one quickly. Good morning. Oh, this caller is off. Good morning. Good morning.
Suppose you give time to answer these questions.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, let me take this last one quickly. Yes, let's hear from you.
Well, my name is Bobby Whitler. I'm calling you from the seashore of Greenfield County.
Okay.
Let me say very recently to the studio guest. I listen to you. I just want to, appeal to you. I want to beg you on my knees. So, based on everything he has said, I want to say, let me wait for 2029 because since the power is inherent in the people, therefore, we want to say it should come 2029 because we are having a strong spirit for CDC Judge Weah.
Okay, many thanks. Let me go back now to my studio guest to respond to those concerns, and then we take leave of him. Yes, sir. It's your turn.
Okay, thank you. So the first question was something to do with LOFA. And what I want to say is that the Liberia Restoration Party, we are in all the counties. We have our people all over. The second person wanted my vice standard bearer to speak. So I'm going to give her an opportunity just to say something. I think that will help them. So
Thank you. You see, this is what you call leadership. Well,
you see, I was asking you more questions.
Yeah.
I'm gonna come out.
No.
Now you see the callers are all concerned.
You see, Saba, when a woman stands up, she does not only stand up for herself, she stands up for other women.
Yeah.
And this is why I'm in this race. And I guess people would like to hear more about me, but this is not about me today. This is the debut appearance of my standard bearer. That's why we wanted to give him ample time.
Okay.
But I'll say this to all of you who are listening and who want to hear from me. I'm no stranger to the media. A lot of people, you know me, I've been in the 15 counties of Liberia, working with all the rural radio stations where we powered by our tower when I worked for Orange Liberia.
Yeah, surely.
So definitely I have been around, and I would say that this platform is not just like any other platform. This is a platform different. And like my standard bearer said, we want to have this unconventional approach. So it's not about doing things the way we are used to doing it. We have to change our approach, the unusual, and this is what we bring.
Okay.
Definitely, you will have our commitment as a party, and also we are looking forward to you for your commitment as Liberian people for that change you have been looking for. Sometimes we look at things and we think everyone else should become one under a party, but when you have different manifesto, when you have different agenda like this one, you cannot be compared to any. And this is not a brag, this is just the truth.
Okay.
If you're looking for that option, you are looking for a difference, you're looking for something new, this is where we are, and you can choose number 3 on the ballot paper because that's where we are, number 3, and our agenda is to also make the children again. This is something we didn't have the time to discuss, but I tell you, my standard bearer has said, if a childhood is destroyed or is faulty is going to develop into the youth, and that youth is going to develop into an adult, and you also have a faulty line. So when you have children and children are not children, there is a problem for the nation. A lot of our people are focused on the youth because that's where they're getting their votes, but we are looking at focusing on the children first, because when the children don't have the proper, you were asking me about education, when the children don't have the proper education from that childhood, you realize that they normally have a faulty youth or youthfulness or adulthood. So we are focusing on the entire country. We are not just focusing on those who are able to give us the votes. We are focusing on the entire country.
Okay.
And this is where you need to join us. You, Sober, you need to join this movement.
Let's see.
But I'm not even giving my parting comment. You go back to my senator. You people wanted me to talk. You people wanted me to talk.
Yeah, but when you talk, but you didn't want to talk. So
I told you initially.
All right, so give us a parting comment now, because time has cut over us already.
So somebody next time you have to invite us. You have to give us 2 hours. Okay. 1 hour for my stand-up bearer and 1 hour for me.
No problem.
Okay, so I'd like to say thanks to all of you who called in, and this is an affirmation that what my stand-up bearer said is resonating with all Liberians. For those of you, and everyone who called here said, yes, he has a very brilliant platform, is different. That's an affirmation. And this is saying that what we have, you don't have to wait till 2029. You can do it now. Start now. The number is 3, and that's Alan Brown and Nusret Wea. Thank you.
Okay. Yes, Mr. Brown, you can respond to those concerns quickly.
No, I want my vice stand-up there to keep talking, because she answering, and you want it, you're not moving.
It's
okay. So, look, she already spoke and she answered most of these things, particularly on the uniqueness of our platform. So I won't repeat just what she said.
Okay.
Can I get into my parting comment?
Yes.
So look, Liberian people and people want to know whether I believe that we can have a first ballot victory. I absolutely do.
Okay.
And my belief is based on my platform. I know that the platform is unique. Assume ownership of your inheritance. Assume ownership of your future.
Okay.
Vote for your empowerment. Vote for the future of your children.
That's right.
If you vote for number 3, Alan Brown and Nusret Wea, that's who we are. That's what we bring to the table. This is what we are committed to giving you. Thank you so much.
Well, many thanks. We really appreciate your time this morning. He's from the Liberia Restoration Party. He's the stand-up bearer, Honorable Alan R. Browns Jr. He's been our guest, and also you heard the vice in the bearer as well, who's coming as vice president.